Hey, we just woke up a little bit just now. Got on last night. I don't know. Made a few seconds of video. Started to see at least one person on real late, but I didn't feel like doing much, so I'm gonna go back and delete that video. But um, just found out we uh, lost our other site that we went on. I hate this technology and then the email stuff. You have to keep trying to assure everything. Oh, me. It's just hard to do. Um, it gets annoying, especially people so full of this scam artist crap. They keep spreading it around, thinking everybody that they run into is a scam. You got these people setting up everything, driving you nuts, and it's just not right. It's not fair to everybody else that's out there. They shouldn't have to keep taking current pictures just so it makes some unknown person that made one of these sites happy. And you can clearly see through a video screen that we're who we are. It's just ridiculous. It's like I told my wife, I think Fred just had to try to find something out here in his local area of Decatur, Tennessee, even though, like I said, we don't get out a whole lot. But, we've had our few little things that would come out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, and just be sitting around at the store. But she's telling me yesterday, there just ain't hardly nobody down there at that store. She said it's all the same, about the same people. I said, yeah, that figures. I know what Gene Wade's going to do if you don't get no new ones. New ones coming in there. He ain't changed. Like I said, he ain't changed the look of that Piggly Wiggly in forever. I don't think he's changed it really since it's been built. I mean, ever since I've been there, it's been the same look, same everything, nothing new. Eventually, most places they try to fix it up, not rebrand it, but remodel it. I don't think that Piggly Wiggly down there's had a remodeling job since at least since I've been alive. It's not, and for Decatur though, like I say, it's not a big attraction to nobody. Other than for the fact, like I said, we don't have many things going on around here. That would be the reason to move down here if it were to be, done if anybody could ever find Decatur. Oh, hi. Oh, God. Oh, here it comes. But yeah, if something happens to where fire can't get out on here, I guess, you never know, but I know everything it seems like you see, well, you gotta verify this, you gotta do that. And like I said, I just don't like computers very much, but we was trying to reach out here in hopes that we could find some people either online, talk to or something, and especially maybe, run into some better luck, and get some lady on here that might be interested in our offer, but apparently, there's not a whole lot more people gets on YouTube for much of nothing. So I don't know. As I said before, I think we've just about run out. And then my wife's just run out of things. I'm not getting on no jobs again. Like I said, that Derek had to get you out there a little bit. Yeah, but it's not what I want either. It's not what she'd want either. And it just draws you to more
Drama.
the people that work there ain't really wanting to work there, and then the one or two that gives you the notion that they want something to do with you, they always got, like I said, they always usually got kids up their butt and already married. So what can you do with it? They already got their life set. They don't need anything. They don't. There's no reason to invest in something that you can't get in. You can't get anything out of it. But hopeful that you know that somewhere somehow Federer can find some way to get out there. It's like I said, my wife hadn't have made that one fateful trip up there that late at night, some months ago.
That damn bonehead won't leave her alone.
But I know I'm getting it out there. But if she hadn't have made that trip up up there, and then Federer would have never known there was anything up there to be. I may have been fine if like I said, my wife, I know she's just frustrated, but she knows what I'm looking for. For me and her, I want somebody stable-minded. We had somebody text us last night telling us a whole bunch of drama and all this other bull, and I told her I know for a fact that's not going to work. You're going to have baggage, yes, but at the same time, there could be a minimum of so little baggage that you could actually not even see it as baggage. It just depends on the person and what they want to offer, what they want to bring to the table. I know what we want to bring to the table, but apparently, nobody else does. And of course, we like I said, the first night we got on here and did a video September 30th. That's the most fun I think we've ever had, and large part due to Dylan was that. I guess happened to be on there again. But and we was talking back and forth on here, texting things back and forth, but it's not going to happen that way all the time. But figured somebody else would come, kind of pick up off here. This has lasted longer than anything else I've had in the last little while. But I know one thing: no matter what happens, the videos will still be out here and things. There could be a chance. So if anything ever did happen, then we know there's still a chance with our stuff being out here. But I don't know. Like I said, I know occasionally think about it, or before we go to bed, or when because a lot of times there ain't nothing else really to do except what we do on a daily basis. I get these weird people texting and emailing on things, and you don't know. They're far off, and they're not. They almost look too good to be from Indicator. And it's not to say that they're not who they are. Of course, they probably are, but I'm just saying that there's nobody within a 5-mile block here. Everybody that you see either working, got a job, and they working 9 to 5, so they don't have the time. Last thing we ever had wasn't really checked out real good, wasn't fixed. Everything wasn't. I don't know how in the world. Like I said, I don't know how somebody can get caught up in that mess. course, like I said, they always start with something small. They start saying something about, oh, I used to be here, I used to be there, on some kind of page or something, and it usually starts out like that, or if you work somewhere. And because I turned one or two of them down that I worked with because you got tired of fooling with it. I mean, and some people say, well, these people, I'm sure somebody's sitting there saying, oh, they regret doing this and that. Well, if they are saying that, and my wife had said something about that Kelly one coming back up and saying something. Well, like I said, it's too late.
I forgive her, 'cause
No, it cost a man his job, and
baby, she said she loved me and she made a mistake.
and I can't take it back. I can't take this drama. I cannot take it at work. I cannot take it at home.
But
And
she
I
said
can't.
she loves us both.
And I can't take up for somebody I don't know. I don't know where their head's at. I don't know what they do.
Her mama's sick, Peter.
I don't know what they do at home. This person ain't the prettiest person in the world. She ain't the modeling type, so I assume that she probably thought she'd try to pull one of her stunts. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say because, like I said, it just doesn't seem like a person that you can see being out doing a whole lot.
She works.
So I don't understand why I mean, like I said, it's not all about that, but I'm just saying it's not like, man, a feller like me wanted to go in there and work. Like I said, every job I've ever had, I want to go in there and work. But I either got people coming up to me trying to start these conversation things, and here they got husbands and fucking kids and all this other crap. What do they think I'm going to do with it? I'm not responsible for it. Yes, if the right person in the right situation came along and they didn't have anybody up their ass and they wasn't having a lot of things all already all up their butt and everything else, it would be one thing if somebody could take in somebody nice. We could go find us a place. But they ain't nobody like it. Everybody's either out here working, got their phones, always somebody doodling. So I don't know. I never trusted anybody I worked with outside of it because it just did not work for me and my wife. We have a lot of time and a lot of free time. Like I said, it's hard to explain. But like I said, nobody's ever going to understand it unless you actually in our shoes and seen the things we've been through and been down. And I ain't here to, I'm sure some of these people, so, hey, I look better with my hair short, but no, I've never put myself over that way either, but most time women are more conscious of their looks and they just have that about them. I myself like to kind of stay, to a certain degree up. Of course, I don't have to do a whole lot because I got most of my dad's stuff. So. But no, it's just, my wife seemed like her at one time. It seemed, and it's not, she just did what she thought she could do. But when you get all these people's numbers, and when the first thing, and I remember, and it's been a while, but I still remember the first thing that she went after is the one that she thought was the best opportunity for her to talk to, and then her numbers got passed around to all these other people, and then she went that other direction with somebody in her family, and then somebody in her family passed her number around a few times and got a lot of these other people, that you're never going to see, you're never going to meet, you're never going to want to meet them because there's too many. There's too many people, I'm not going to want to meet them, especially after all these up here have treated me like trash, have said things they've said. And they've got their own little circle, and that's the way I'd rather it stayed. Because it doesn't do any good. It doesn't matter who it is. They can sit there and go down there at their bar or their club or wherever they live. They got more than we got. If they want something to do with somebody, they can go down there and get that. Like I said, because we're not going to have enough to do anybody. It's going to take somebody that doesn't have much and it has a good heart, but otherwise it's not going to be able to be done because it's, like I said, it's too many bumps in the road, too many things you have to try to go through and sit through and listen to. And the thing is, where it gets dicey is what I would have done, or what my wife would probably most likely done. That's where we get into some hot water with any person. They want you to support their bad choices. They want you to make excuses for them, and they want you to understand that they made these choices and that they don't want to take responsibility for those choices. They just want to be. They basically want you to just not say nothing. Don't make them hold no. Don't figuratively put a gun to their head and make them realize that it's wrong for doing it. Just overlook them. Don't do anything. That, like I said, that's boring. I mean, if you can't talk to somebody and make casual conversation, and it's not our fault that we bring that shit up, what's because I mean, there ain't gonna be too many opportunities for me and my wife out here as it is. I'm tired of these Susans and all these other ones that's come out of the woodworks. I can't think of all of them. They've been quite a few. I'm tired of all the couples. I'm tired of all the phones stuck up the ass kind of people. I'm tired of all the same rhetoric that we seem to get. That's why I don't want to work now, like I said earlier, because it's large part the same problem exists at a workplace. They want you for a spare tire. They usually like you're a spare tire, and they don't think of you as an important piece to the puzzle. And the Hardee's down here, for example. Every year they give you a little old card, and and I always used to tell people I never took it like it was going to be a meant to be thing, because everybody come in and out of that place like it's candy, and I just don't like it. That's not a good workplace. When you've got too many people coming in, coming out, and switching in and out all the time, it's never good. A good workplace always has the same people for as long as they can. You can't have this in and out phase happening all the time. You can't possibly get customers to know who they're talking to and who I mean, that's, for example, you had Joe back there, you had Lisa back there, you had me that stayed there, almost 5 years. You know, now you had a bunch of them. When I first started, the first 2 years, 2 or 3, 2.5 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, you had a lot of the same ones that were there when I first started. You know, so when you start getting when you start having all these people coming in and out so much, it's hard for the customers to get used to this changing, constantly changing the people up all the time, and it affects how you get people to come back, because then the good ones they like talking to don't, if they're not there, and then you keep this up, it's not a good idea. And sometimes it could be the people that they hired, they just didn't, they don't do a good job checking them out. They have you go through all that stuff, but yet at the same time, they don't. They ought to, like I've said before, that the simple way to make sure that you get a good place like that is put them on a yearly contract. That's what I'd do. Because and put certain provisions in it, because basically that's what you need. And that way, if after a year you want to leave, you can leave. If you say, hey, I'd rather go out and get something else. But to keep the commitment, because you could have people stay there for 2 or 3 weeks, and or just long enough to get a check or two, and then they walk out, and then there you go, you got somebody else you've already lost. So if you don't keep it up, and some people might have a problem with that, but I wouldn't. And I've told a few of the bus drivers that that's what they ought to do. These central drivers out here have lasted longer than a good majority of people that goes in, wants a job. I guess they think, for one thing, they think they're going to get rich quick or something. For some reason or another, they go in there thinking their check's going to be more. Trying to find you some Cerro honey. I got her so many she don't know what to choose. I'll eat some kind of Cerro with her. Got her so many kinds she don't know what ones to choose. Oh, you're hungry? But yeah, I don't know. I know what I give people a chance, me and her does every day. But I don't know what else to say, But yeah, the people I used to work for, basically they ruined my effort to ever want to give another try to anybody else. I just can't. It's not right to get rid of somebody after they've been there, shown that they've been loyal to a place, and wasn't money hungry, wasn't asking for $100 on their paycheck. They could have set me at a pro rate and paid me $40 or $50, something like that, half of what they were paying me, and it's still been fine. Like I said, it sucks that they just don't see the error of their ways. They don't want to see the error of their ways. They know they're making mistakes. They just don't want to be held accountable for them. You have to treat everybody, whether it's a workplace or a family relationship of some kind, or like what we had up here that's happened to us several times. Every time somebody offers something, it's always something, always a catch somewhere. And they never seem to get anything right. And they want you to accept all this baggage and understand that they got all these people that's up their butt, but yet, you can't never get them to see, well, hey, if you did things this way and that way, if you had things like that, see, me or my wife could give more time to them certain person or people that happen to be, what we want to fool with. But if you got all that other bull you have to go through and you have to meet everybody and you have like 30 people you have to put up with and then people's so-called good friends, when they don't treat you right a lot of times, they don't come around. So that's what I'm saying. That's where the mix-up is. How am I supposed to give anybody any credit, or my wife supposed to give these people credit if they won't come around and they won't treat you the same way they treated them? So if I'm to take, or my wife or I, either one, is to take y'all's package, it can't be done unless, oh man. Oh goodness. It can't be done unless, there's something, to be said, because I believe everybody deserves a chance, but it's up to you guys, but, oh, what'd you do, honey?
I had your hot chocolate rain. I'm going to redo it again. Because I dropped it.
Oh, it's all right. We got plenty.
Let me. I need more hot. I can't do nothing.
Oh, it's all right. We got plenty. Lord, there's a whole. Eating some cereal. Yeah.
I just almost something they don't put me like, but they don't understand.
Well,
They don't understand I'm hurt and then crying.
well, unfortunately, my wife sometimes used to always somehow find somebody's baggage on behalf of other people coming out, and it's because she get out and walk. It's not why I say it's not our fault that it happens, man. But they won't keep herself in the apartments or in their own houses. She tried to bring up that one last night with Sarah, and it wasn't anything that I don't already know about. But I don't want. I'll name his name out here. I don't want your girlfriend. You know who you are. You live right down the road. I've had to call the police on you before. I don't want in that mess. I think your woman's nothing but a mess. And you two are made for each other. So if you kill each other, it ain't our fault. I don't want her up here, just like I didn't want all these other people up here. I think somebody could beat that. I believe if you had enough sense in you, I believe you'd just do away with each other and leave each other alone. But obviously she's too hot. Obviously she's too hot. Got good looks, otherwise he'd leave.
Yeah, but she's pregnant and he don't leave his child.
So obviously, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Just a small example. That's ridiculous that somebody would come out there and interrupt somebody who didn't go up to their house, didn't ask for their 2 cents. They got a problem. They know they do. And it always starts when they start wanting kids. They always say it. And then, like I told my wife, they say that and they get it. And then a lot of times they're like, man, here I am, 40 years old or 45, because a lot of them has it at a young age. So, they still got a little time left, but then all of a sudden, there could be 2 or 3 more before the first one they have reaches the age of 18. So then you've got 2 or 3 more to worry about. It's a cycle. That stuff's got to be painful. And, like I said, it's got to be extremely, not only to the fact that, an old woman, like I said, I've seen a few shows, but, it could cost them their life. The mother could die, and then the kids could die. So what good are you doing? And then if you say, well, I made a difference in the world by bringing a couple more kids, yeah, you might have just brought a few more bad people in the world too. They're all good when they're little, can't talk, can't hardly do nothing. But then you get them of age of accountability. Get a lot of these people doing bad things, they end up on the news, and they're rude as hell. The majority of them. So, just like I said, when I mistakenly, this was on me, but I mistakenly one time was on Seth before I met my wife. And this, young'un was on there, and she didn't even have no damn kids. She didn't even want one. And then she turns around 8 years later, my wife and I sitting there. All of a sudden, she just all of a sudden makes up her mind that she's finally going to do what Derek wanted her to do to begin with, which was get the goddamn hell out of that fucking idiot's house and get herself out there and do something. Being stuck up daddy's ass doesn't always work. It don't get nowhere. I had respect for her and had respect for Connie, but she was just too much up daddy's ass, and she always would do what he said all the time. That's what would bother me. That's the same problem I had up here 9 months ago. It's the same problem. Almost the exact T, except slightly different circumstances, but pretty much the same problem. And, it's just, I cannot. Nobody that's raised up like me, my wife has the same visions as me mostly. I mean, she's a little bit sweeter at times. And I try to be sweet, but like I said, I'm not going to sit here and toot my horn. But, it depends on how you take me. Whether or not me and my wife are enough for you. Like I said, we're not saying we don't want to meet you, few little people that you may have with you. But if it's going to cost us more in the long run, and you're just going to be hanging around that all the time and not giving us any of your personal time, away from all that, if it means that much to you, then we need to get exit stage left. We need to go. Or right, whatever way. But we just need to go. Because the last thing I want to do is be sitting somewhere, me and my wife sitting somewhere and not feel like we're wanted. I don't like these people faking out. Putting out fake stuff. In person, I can usually read them in about 5 minutes. And all the while, like I said, these technology things are a good idea to some degree. A lot of this stuff is too much. It's overkill. You don't need to have to take pictures all the time just to make somebody you don't even know happy on one of these sites. You know, these moderators, people they're trying to find a reason to make their site less populated. I mean, some might say, well, it does happen on occasion. Well, you don't know that though, till you talk to them. So what? I mean, my goodness, you're costing people like me or my wife or some other people that's trying to be legit here, and you're running us half to death. It's like that Mingle 2 site. Started that bull yesterday. I was going to put update this one thing, and they started with this picture match. I was going to put everything out there because I seen where it said hi, and that's what we was reading. A lot of them just left it at that. I didn't notice that when I first made it. I didn't even pay attention to it. Maybe I wouldn't worked anyway. Like I said, everybody was too far out. But yeah, we thought we'd try to come out and see what everybody was doing. I don't know how to track this stuff, make it any better than it already is. Like I said, they tell you that on those things. Well, if you say this or put that, they ain't going to really get nobody to attract you any more than you already are. So what you see is what you get. But yeah, I know if it was the right crowd, the right something, if you had the right people lined up out here, like I said, kind of like one of them shows on TV, they have to go through a special thing to know that they're who they are and all that. They can build a pool wool over their eyes on a TV show. But me and my wife, just two examples that seem to get something or did thrown at us for no reason. And ever since I reckon we made these videos, they've been, those kinds of people been staying away. So apparently that's all that's out here. So, me and her just have to accept what we have to accept on this deal. I won't get nothing else. And that's all right. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, but, we just have to be all right with it and move on. But we give everybody a chance, like I said, once or twice today. I don't know what more you want. And if you absolutely gotta have 100 people be around you and never have any time for nobody, like I said, reasonably, I could understand somebody having a job on the side, coming home and all that, and having something like that. That's no problem. If you can also understand our position on why we don't work, and understand it from our point of view. Like I said, I wouldn't knock doing something for somebody if we got to know somebody and they had somebody that needed something. a fella could reasonably see himself doing. Or if they happened to work somewhere and they had some pull, maybe, another Lisa kind of person that's real respectful and understands what's going on, if something like that were to be, and of course I'd tell them, before they hired me or my wife or any of them, but we would make sure we told them, because to me, they're always looking, places like that, always looking for a reason to get rid of you. They don't really want to have to pay you nothing. A lot of these places like Hardee's, they go below millions and millions of dollars on fucking commercials. I used to see these commercials, speaking of something. You see these commercials with these half-naked women on there. Like I said, nothing wrong with it, but do you think they're going to be standing out there waiting on somebody to take somebody home? It gives off the wrong impression, And some of the old people don't want to see that, and so therefore you got a crowd that you'd be saying, "Man, I wonder if that's standing outside the," but it's not. But in some kids' mind, or young adults' mind, they might say, "Man, I wonder if that's standing outside there. Gonna give me a hamburger." You never know, but I think Hardee's realized their mistake several years ago, and some people complained about their, commercials. And I remember when I was working over here in Decatur, I said that's going to run your business off right there. These women ain't helping a thing. You shouldn't have to, because you're paying them for being in that commercial. Why not just advertise the food and leave it alone? Like I said, Hardee's is just one of them that realize that. I don't know what they were trying to prove by having that. I guess they were thinking that they wasn't thinking about the ladies having a negative effect. They were thinking, man, if I show a lady eating a juicy burger, then if the customers that come to our place take it that way, it'll help draw us some people in. But no, everybody don't want that, because, like I said, if you got to resort to having half-naked women out there, why not just watch wrestling? I mean, they wrestle half naked all the time. Like I said, ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not like they were naked, but it sends the wrong message to people. And that's one of the things, like I said, it's just another example of things that they do wrong, sometimes. And I get to where every time they send stuff out here now, I just throw it away. I think some of these people like Kelly and all these people that works places like that, they're getting guilt written now, so they wait till I ain't around, and they come up with these little things, these little half-assed apologies that they don't mean, trying to make themselves look good, and you cost a fella his job. You cost her a job. You've cost me my job, and she's supposed to have a chance, but due to you wanting to make yourself look like you're the most important thing, and like me or her was doing anything to you, you went up and made a whole bunch of bullshit up, So you stood there looking like you was getting something done to you that you wasn't. You trying to make us look bad. I reckon you must have told that damn Allison over there that I was a horrible worker, that I wasn't doing my job or whatever. Cause the day I was up more than I was in there, I couldn't believe I was hearing this shit. I've been there 5 years, almost 5 years, done everything that they asked me to do, and sometimes even did more than I was supposed to. I went back there, swept the
Right.
the back and did stuff back there I wasn't even supposed to do. But I said, well, I'm a cleaner, so why the hell not? As long as they ain't, too busy. At times when they didn't have a whole lot of things, I'd sneak back there and help them out in that manner. I always got thanked. But now, well, no, I mean, if somebody offered that on the table from down there, I wouldn't take it. There ain't no reason to.
And Kelly needs help.
Yeah, they need help in the head.
No, they need
These
help.
places-
Somebody's going in.
These places need help in the head. They hire, my thing is, they won't admit it, but I'm going to tell it. My wife gets upset when I get right, but they hire these people knowing that they're fucking screwed up. Because they want you to feel sorry that they got a sick mama, a sick daddy, a sick child at home. Like I said, I would in some ways if you were giving me or my wife some attention that you said you wanted to give us. But you then make things up and excuses for what you allow yourself to put yourself in one of these little binds. And then
Cool.
I am too here, honey.
No.
Yeah. I don't. But no, and like I said, it wouldn't be so bad if you was getting treated right. We had about 2 years ago, well, the fair was up here, and we had somebody tell us that we were going to be picked up and everything else. And I worked down there, and oh, my brother needed my car, and this or that, And they obviously knew that was going to happen, or they wouldn't have done it. That they got enjoyment out of playing people like me or my wife. But like I said, Kelly thing is she wanted to make everything about her and her feelings getting hurt. She hurt our feelings. The whole thing that I was saying about her was basically, she didn't need to be down there. She wasn't equipped for this stuff. They believed her over me, and I was there long before she ever was there. And if I had done anything even remotely wrong down there at all, I'd long been gone before she'd showed up. Everybody that came in after me practically pretty much sucked. I mean, at least from the girls' standpoint, for the most part. Now, what is it? What is it? It's just probably junk, honey.
But you're correct on Friday.
Anyway, I don't answer people. I don't know. But anyway, and I was accused of all kinds of stuff down there by Allison. And she didn't even half the time, didn't even work down there. I seen her a spare time or two, on a Tuesday or on a Thursday, whenever I worked, God have mercy, what was it, Tuesdays and Thursdays or something? I can't. But on the 2 days I worked, yeah, I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays. Occasionally, she would be down there to check on things. They'd bring in a maintenance worker or something like that, But I'm never gonna be able to forgive her what she's done or what anybody at Hardee's has done. Like I said, I had respect for those that showed me respect and didn't overdo it and got along with me. They know who they are. I liked that little bitty Sam down there. She was a good hard worker. There was a bunch of them I named off earlier that was real good to me. And when my wife and I'd come in and eat occasionally. But no, that's why I said, there needs to be some rule changes and, and there needs to be some things looked into before you get a job. The job's not what it always seems to be. Everybody's always wanting you to go out there and get something, but then if you're in my position and if I had proof to show you, I wasn't there 2 days. Wasn't even there 2 days. And customers getting on my nerves. Had a couple times something stupid like that happen every now and then. Or somebody bitching about one time there was a customer come in there bitching about they wanted their breakfast and they didn't care that it was, breakfast was over with or whatever. I forget now what it was. But I've seen enough of stuff like that go down. But I just remember why if either one doesn't desire to need to work or want to work anywhere else, even think about it. But like I said, if it's an odd job or something or some kind of a place or something, or somebody, like I say, somebody we've met, or if we ever met somebody and they had something, then, something lined up where we could feel comfortable and trust them enough that we could have our say in it. And if I wanted to give something up, I'd let them know, But apparently, it's not going to be doing much, not going to be putting no spotlight out here other than a video on YouTube. So, like I said, Kelly and them's trying to start their junk down here. It's not going to happen. I don't want to sit there and have to look them in the face. I don't have to put up with nobody down there. I don't want them tax form things. I'm going to throw them in the garbage every time I get one. So they can quit sending them. And like I said, they can quit trying to offer apologies. You cost the man his job. You cost my wife a chance to get in the job because freaking people couldn't get your shit together down there.
Well, she apologized to me.
And I'm not taking it. My wife shouldn't have to take that either. It don't make an apology is not the answer. It doesn't help anything. You're just trying to get out of something that you caused that was your fault, that you insinuated as such as you wanted to give me your number and you wanted something to do with us when you didn't have time. Like I said, you don't have time. You got a sick mom up there. You got this, you got that. You probably got a couple of other things up your butt I don't know about. So you don't have time to do nothing. You're babysitting. If you ain't working, you're babysitting. You're doing something. So, like I said, I would have had sympathy for you if you'd kept your word and done things and split your time up like you should have done to start with, or you shouldn't have just done nothing at all. Like I said, we can't help what you do got or don't got. But you don't got me or my wife supporting you because you treat us like trash, and then you go and lie to Allison and them up there at Hardee's, cost them my job, and when they should have been talking to you and my wife over y'all's little shit over the phone. Had nothing to do with me. I didn't. The only thing was when y'all were upsetting her up there after she went up there and went to her job interview like she was told to do. Y'all didn't fucking call me and tell me what y'all's problem was. Now, we didn't know. So, y'all had my number at that time. Y'all could have called me and told me what was going on. But instead, Beverly wanted to hide. Everybody up there wanted to hide. She didn't do her part, obviously, and call up there and say, hey, I had a family emergency. Well, if she did, if she did do it, which I don't know because I wasn't there.
She did.
Well, I don't know whether she did. I don't know whether she did or didn't. It doesn't matter what she says. I'm saying I did not see it happen. I wasn't there. And Allison can say whatever she wants to. But she neglected my wife of getting the job down there at Hardee's. And she done it on purpose. I know Beverly wouldn't have said such things if she hadn't had a conversation with the higher ups. Because you can't just go in there and hire somebody else's wife or spouse, if you want to say it the other way, if you didn't have a conversation. So that's why I'm not entertaining no other jobs. I'm not going to go out there and make excuses. For anybody else that works at one of these places, I'm not eating in a place I don't feel comfortable. I'll go in and I'll go in and get me an ice cream or whatever at McDonald's occasionally, very rarely, but I may step in there occasionally. But I'm not stepping in no Hardee's. I'm not, going to do that. Like I said, y'all made your bed. You're going to have to lay in it. Y'all can get y'all's asses out there and clean that parking lot like I've done for almost 5 years. Y'all can start getting out there and doing it. Now, I know they can't afford to lay you all off. They can't afford to fire everybody down there. I did it for Lisa because I knew she respected me and she was doing her job. But that's why Hardee's is never going to get no compliments from me. I don't like looking at y'all's coupons. Like I said, don't like any of it. I'll go down to Pig or something and get a plate lunch or something. Like I said, occasionally I might go to McDonald's and get one of their ice creams. Like I did that one time, but no, just, we kind of got to talking about a subject here and gone. But I'll give people an hour here of our time and don't see anybody. So in about 50 seconds, I'll be shutting this chat thing down again. As I give people an opportunity to chat, and y'all don't seem to want to chat. So, it's going to be y'all's fault. Can't do everything for you. But, 20 seconds, people. Looks like we're at 10 seconds. All right. Well, we'll see you later.